Hi guys, it's Harmony, and I did my final presentation on how Greek art and architecture influenced and spread throughout culture. So when doing this project, I learned that there was three main types of Greek art and three main types of Greek architecture that formed. The first main thing I'm going to start off with is art and how that influenced and spread to other cultures. So the first main type of Greek art was called proto-geometric art. Proto-geometric art started in the end of the Dark Ages, and it went all the way through the beginning of the Iron Ages. Proto-geometric Greek art emphasized geometric perfect lines, and it was a result of faster pottery wheels and other developments such as the compass. So because of these new faster pottery wheels, a new technique called amphora developed. Amphora was a different type of pottery that they made that had a slender figure of the vase, and it made art different than Greece and anywhere else had ever seen before. The amphora was used to hold liquids such as wine and oils, and this type of pottery during the Dark and Iron Ages was known for its elegance and simplicity. So we know that art forms depict images without words. And when these vases were traded and sold throughout Greece, new cultures could learn and understand different stories through communication. One of the most influential vases that I saw was a depiction of Odysseus, and it showed when the sirens were trying to influence them to be lustful and do bad things. So that just represents how morality and values of Greece, and so when they traded with other people, those other cultures could see those values and learn from them. The second form of art that developed during this time was in archaic Greece, and it shifted how those stories were told. So two of the big things that I learned about in archaic Greece was red figure pottery and black figure pottery. This was where the figures on the vase were painted black, and the vase was a brighter color so it stood out. And most of the images on these vases were of humans, so it was less of symbolization of God and more of human daily life, human daily interactions. So these type of vases, when they were traded, influenced how people treated each other, because they could see how the different figures were treating each other in the vases and learned from it. The third type of art was in Hellenistic Greece, and the biggest thing I saw during this time was Margarian pottery. I don't know if I'm butchering that, but Margarian pottery was mostly bowls that were made, and this made food consumption and trade a lot easier in Greece. It gave other regions ideas to create these utensils and tools to consume that food, and it influenced people to share meals because with these new bowls they could share meals, share food, and it brought Hellenistic Greece closer as a community, because we all know that food sharing is a really big part of culture. And once these bowls were spread and traded, different cultures could use techniques and variations of designs to make them unique to their own beliefs. So those were the three main things I learned about Greek art, and next I'm going to be talking about Greek architecture. So there were three types of Greek architecture that were really prevalent in this time, and the first one was Doric, the second one was Ionic, and the third one was Corinthian. So Doric classical order architecture, which is what it's called, it was used in the building of the Parthenon, and it symbolized strength and courage after winning the war. And it was influential because it gave Greece a place to worship their gods, which they'd never seen before. And it persuaded other cultures to take this structure and build stuff like it so they could worship their gods too. The next form of architecture was Ionic, and that was used in the building of the Erechtheion, also on Acropolis Hill. It's a little bit different from Doric because they have more slender pillars, but it influenced Greece to worship Athena, which was one of the female gods, and the whole reason they built it was for her,